All right, so we're allegedly streaming right now, but I'm not sure how quickly it. I wonder if I stream to the right channel. Let me know if you get a notification for when we start streaming. Oh, we're streaming. The Look at the thumbnail. That's so good.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm clicking on that. All right,
I'll
welcome
see.
everybody back to another Jaguars video. This is we took a little bit of a break, and actually I looked today. We haven't recorded. I should put headphones on. We haven't recorded since so we've done some live streams, but they've been like Dunn and Drew podcasts. But this is really supposed to be a Jaguars specific because, as we all know, I don't watch anything else, really. I don't watch college basketball. I don't watch what are the other sports?
You don't watch tennis anymore?
I heard that Sinner won the Australian Open, but that's about
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, this is a reaction really to the last 14 days because I know we got one DM. That's all it took for me. So I was like, come back. The Jaguars fired Balky. You gonna come back? Yes, fine.
Whoa,
So we're back, Eric.
what?
I expect.
Man?
Stop. Well, we're back, Dunn and Drew and Jack.
What do you expect?
I expect this video to be kind of reacting to the last few weeks being a Jags fan and looking forward to the future because I'll admit I would look at this is the podcast room. I don't know if you guys can't see me, but when you watch it on YouTube, it should show up in a second.
I have to wait for the 10 seconds on YouTube to see.
This is the podcast room that used to be filled with Jags merch and posters on the wall. It's bare. And you know why it's bare? Because on Black Monday, Shad Khan announced that Doug Peterson was fired and Trent Baalke would be assisting him in leading or would be helping him lead the search for the next head coach of the Jags. I was done. Was never going to pick up a microphone again. My fandom was hanging on by a thread. And really, I was just casual fan from here on out because there's no hope. But now, he's gone. There's hope. Eric, how do you feel?
I feel like your fandom wasn't I feel like your fandom was gone before that even happened because even the home opener this past season, you weren't even given a thought to be at. Boy, you showed up at like noon, showed up like an hour before kickoff. So I just had to call you out there because I feel like your fandom was never really fully
That's
in
why
it
you're
this
here.
season.
That's why you're here. Call me out.
Yeah, I don't think you were ever fully in this year, but you should. I respect that. Like, kudos to you because I wish I would have taken that warning because I was out here looking like a goddamn fool early. Because I don't know if you remember before the season started, I did this like preseason hype video with this dude that was dropping this new shirt. And we were like dancing in the Jag shirt. We were dancing around Jacksonville. Like we were like throwing away last season and we're coming into 2024. So my hype level was way the fuck up here. But then I even went to the season opener against the Dolphins. But once we started 0-4 and I was making these comedic songs about our season, I was trying to cope. That was my coping mechanism. My coping mechanism is creating content about how bad we are. Because I can't just completely shut down. I need an outlet because I can't just sit here and vent all the time, you know? I have to express my emotions in other ways. And how do I do that? Music, skits, short form video. So I was doing that, and it was getting me through the season up to a point because Trevor got hurt, everybody got hurt, and then the season just it was there was no turning back. This was probably the first season in 5+ years since I started actually going to games regularly that I was not interested in even tailgating. I only went to the Packers tailgate because we were doing a charity thing at the tailgate. But I didn't even go to the game after that. I left, went home, never to be seen at a home game again. But I was after the season ended, I said, I'm not entertaining this team anymore. I was done. I was actually completely done. I was like, I'm not going to any home games. I'm not traveling for this team if we have Trent Baalke in the building still. Because we have been talking on social media like we had a whole ass clown game dedicated to Trent Baalke's firing. And it was acknowledged by the Jags and Trent Baalke by having his little clown figurine on his desk. They thought this was some sick joke. Like looking back at us. Like, no, we want you gone, Trent. This was in 2021. We had to go through 22, which I ain't mad about. I ain't mad at that year. You feel me, Jack? 2023, hype and crash. And then last year, crash all the way. Couldn't even turn on a Doug Peterson press conference because this man didn't even want to be there. He was just saying all the right things to keep collecting his checks because he knew his days were numbered. And I said, I'm not going any more games next season if Trent Baalke's in the building. So we interview the top candidates. Everyone's talking about, oh, Ben Johnson wants to go to the Jags, blowing smoke up our ass. But we interviewed him. We interviewed Liam Cohen. And then neither of them wanted to come here. And that's when Shad Khan finally decided to be like, all right, Trent Baalke and Shad Khan are parting ways. They said parting ways, but I don't like that term because that means Baalke left on his own accord. I'm saying that motherfucker got fired. We fired his bitch ass because nobody wanted to work with him. And it took this terrible I don't know what happened because there had to be, this is what I was talking with Andy before, because this billionaire owner has had all these unsuccessful seasons. He has to be told or see his fan base acting up, saying fire Trent Baalke in every social media post for the last 3 years. Why did it take this time around to finally fire him? Well, I want to know who in the building maybe said something to him. Did the ticket office say, hey, we're not getting any money. You might need to fire Trent? Or was it really that Shad Khan really wanted Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson, and he was like, okay, they're not going to work with Trent. I have to fire him. But we'll never know. But I was elated because the day before, it was either 1 or 2 days before they fired Baalke, I put up a Facebook post and I said, back when we were at AEW with that Trent Baalke kicked me sign back in the Urban Meyer season, I reposted that picture and I said, if this sign didn't work to fire Trent Baalke, nothing's going to work. 2 days later, he gets fired. And I was like, no fucking way. And now we're here. And I don't really feel back. It just feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder. But we still have a lot of work to do. I know there's been a lot of hype around Liam, a lot of naysayers as well, just because he's not proven. Just coming from an OC position with the Bucks to a head coach position, I don't care anymore. I mean, you know how many new head coach videos we've done and I've gotten hype? 2.
Wait, how many new coaching hires?
Yeah, since
It
we've
was
been
Urban
doing
and who else?
Doug. There's 2.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it feels like a million. But I'm trying to temper my emotions and expectations because it's like we win the offseason, everything feels good, and then once the season starts, like I did not expect us to start 0-4 this year. I don't know what everybody was talking about, saying the first 4 games on our schedule were the hardest. And as the games were played out, we saw that fucking NFC North gauntlet ahead. I was like, those first 4 games were winnable, not minus the Bills. They fucking kicked our ass. But starting 0-4, I was pretty much out of the door as a fan early in the season. So I'm not really sure what to expect. Um, Liam said all the right things in his press conference, except Duval.
Duval.
But he did do a video where he said it perfectly fine in front of the crowd in a selfie video.
That's
So
what you guys.
He kind of joked.
You guys wonder why I don't say it? It's because of that. That's why I never say Duval. It's because you can accidentally say it wrong, or you can say it and no one responds. That's
I
rare.
think that's what you're most scared about.
That's right. Yeah, that's probably it.
You're
I
gonna
know how to
mess up
say it.
saying Duval. How many times you heard it?
Yeah. Well, how many? Well, I guess he hasn't heard it too many times. But you're right. He did it right, and then I don't know. I don't know what happened. Surely he's seen the videos. But I'm with you on the skepticism. Like, we've had a head coach that was like, I mean, we've had obviously so many that have said the right things. I mean, I honestly don't remember, because Doug Marrone was a interim and then he was promoted. So I don't, maybe they did have I guess they did have a introductory press conference, but I don't really remember that one. The Urban Meyer one, I remember. I was fired up for that one. Doug Peterson, I guess I remember. But like, next to all three of those was Trent Baalke. And it's insane. The reason why I was out is like, if Shad Khan doesn't see the Trent Baalke thing, like if he's this clueless, I know that organizational success starts at the top. And if he's this clueless, like, it's never going to work. Now, I mean, he could still be clueless, but now that Baalke's gone, that was a mistake that Shad made. We just have to hope that he accidentally hires the right head coach. We got to hope that Liam Cohen is the right head coach. I do like the fact that our only Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli, was involved in the hiring process. Thanks. That makes me feel better than just Shad Khan making the decision, like a lot better. And now we have to hope that Shad accidentally hires the right GM. But now that we have Liam helping and Baselli helping, that also makes me feel better. Trent's not the one that's in control. We don't know. Like before, when we made head coaching hires with Trent, it was like, is there like something else at play? Is Trent, could we be getting someone even better, but we can't because we have Baalke. Now that Baalke is gone, like I don't know if the sky's the limit, because I just don't know how much I still trust Shad Khan. But like you said, big weight lifted off my shoulder. Like I feel like I can have hope again. Like if we hired Liam with Trent still in play, it's just like I would feel nothing probably. But
and for the Jags, for me personally, I can't give Liam Cohen 1 year. It's not 1 year he comes in and I'm expecting to be a playoff team, even though I don't think we're as bad as we are currently. And our division's pretty weak. But now that Baalke's fired and we get a brand new coach, my expectations are kind of like, I mean, I want playoffs, but I'm not expecting to be in the playoffs next season. That's where I'm at right now. I just don't think, well, the coaches aren't in place right now, obviously, but first year head coach.
I'd say I expect to be in the playoffs. Like we were 8-3 last year, and then we just, and then we're in the AFC South. So you're in the AFC South, so that makes it a lot easier. And we still have the same team pretty much that started 8-3 before just imploding a season ago. So I fully expect to make the playoffs, and I'll be extremely disappointed if we don't. That's where I stand.
I think you gotta slow down on that.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
You're joking around? What do you mean?
Jack,
it's the AFC South. The Texans barely won it.
The Texans are like still a good team. They were in the divisional round. They won a playoff game.
So but making the playoffs isn't as like this incredibly daunting feat that it sounds like. Like the Commanders just made the playoffs and went to the NFC Championship game with the first time quarterback, not
Right, I
first time head
understand.
coach, but
But that was such an extreme anomaly. It's hard to make the playoffs, even in
that really was an anomaly.
like. I mean, you should know how. Like, I think the playoffs is hard. How many times have the Jaguars done it? I don't want to come off of condescending here, but
I think it's
Yes,
fully.
it's
talk down to us, please.
difficult for the Jaguars to make the playoffs. And as now, I'm optimistic too. But as Eric said, with a first-year head coach coming off a 4-win season, like you shouldn't expect playoffs and be disappointed if you don't. I think
No, I think that's loser. That's loser mentality.
maybe it's loser mentality, or maybe it's I don't know realistic
Well,
mentality of
I'm
like
not
the
the
entire
one.
scope
I'm
of the
not the one
NFL.
playing. I'm not the one playing. They're the ones that got to change the culture and actually go out there and act like they want to win. So they got to put all the coaches in place to be able to do that. Everyone's about to be gone. The only person that they're retaining, I feel like, is the special teams coordinator because they already said he's coming back. We're about to have a new GM, DC, head coach, offensive coordinator, and we have to draft and free agent and make trades to fix the problems that we have all over the field, which are very evident. We had worst defense, like bottom 3 defense last year after getting a new defensive coordinator, which we're now going to replace again. And then offense, bro, we've seen Trevor do amazing things, and we've also seen him hurt for 2 straight seasons. I don't even know who Trevor Lawrence is right now.
Also,
But I know when he's clicking, but I don't know if we have. I know we're not the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and his coaching staff can win with anybody on that fucking roster. Like Juju Smith-Schuster in 2025. You put Juju on the Jags, we're not winning shit. So we have to have the right receivers, tight ends, offensive line in place for Trevor to succeed because Trevor's a big old question mark right now because all we've seen is 2022 and then the 8-3 year before he got hurt.
I also don't think this isn't like Dan Campbell when he first went to the Lions. I just think our team is like we lost 7 games by 1 score this past season, and we were a really bad team on paper, like statistically, and we lost 7 games by 1 score. I think there's a potential. My hope is that this new coach and new GM can turn a majority of those into, the hope is into wins. And I really think, I just want to prepare you guys that I will be sad in this podcast or this YouTube channel will be canceled again if we don't make the playoffs.
It's still a tall task. Like I think you should start off like doubling the wins. Just get to 8 wins would be a very, very good season.
No, I'm past.
That's improvement.
That's crazy. I'm past that. I'm so past that.
Oh,
8
man,
wins.
you're
I should
so
be
back.
happy. No,
Yes.
that's so like.
You should be happy with that.
No. Wow.
You have to.
That's
you have
crazy.
to build to consistency.
You're just looking at
We've never been consistent.
right.
You can't just start at 10, 11, 12 wins and then keep that going. That's not how the NFL works. You think the Commanders are going to do this again next year? It's very hard to repeat.
Whatever.
I think you're just looking, as we said, the anomalies. Like, I don't know, the Texans turned around quickly, the Commanders turned around quickly, but these are not like most of the time. It takes time to build, and I would not expect the Jaguars to do it in 1 year.
Andy is just doing what we call drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh man.
He's being a Jags fan. We're desperate as fuck for an ounce of success. And the unthinkable just happened in the offseason. We fired the GM that's been holding us back. So now we did that. We accomplished that. Now some Jags fans think, oh,
No.
grass is green.
No.
We're going to make the playoffs.
No.
We're going to win the division.
My expectation
We're going to get
holding
11
this team
wins.
accountable is this team should make the playoffs. If it doesn't, it's very fair to be upset that they did not make the playoffs.
It depends how the season goes as well.
Uh,
It's how they miss the playoffs, or how they like injuries can happen. Trevor's been hurt the last 2 seasons. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's
We
fine. Then
we can't.
obviously I'll understand.
Yeah, so I'm like, we can't be too excited because that kind of thing still happens where you like wait 8, 9 months for the season to start, and then it gets ruined because of an injury and shit. But I guess this is the point of the season where we have to be happy until that happens, living in the present, I guess. But John Michael Begay in the comments says $55 million quarterback, all pro wide receiver, 2 good edges. These turnarounds are possible.
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, possible, yes, but the expectation shouldn't be.
Acting like it's a rebuild. This isn't a rebuild situation.
It kind of is a little
What do you-
bit. I
how?
mean, and not a like a traditional rebuild or like a there's nothing. Obviously, yes, but like rebuilding teams are teams being in the top 5, and then there's a huge gap, and then playoff teams.
If you guys are new to this channel and you're not sure who the non-ball knower is in the middle, this is our resident Steelers fan. Yes, Steelers fan, which may explain the comments that he's making. His name is Jack, and you can destroy him in the comments if you want.
I will
He likes being
say
destroyed.
that the things Liam said in his opening press conference about focusing on the offensive line and building the team around Trevor and having Trevor be a part of the decisions on who's on the team, those are all great things to hear. We haven't really heard that from Doug Peterson or the other guy. But, they're saying all the right things currently, which is great. But I need to see how the roster gets revamped, and I need to see these players who played pretty terribly last season. I need to see them play a lot better to think that we're going to make the playoffs. Sure, we're set up to make playoffs, but it's because we're in one of the worst divisions in the NFL right now.
Thank you,
So that's
preach,
the only-
man. I
that's
see you
the
coming
only
around,
reason-
Jack. Eric's
I
talking
ain't
playoffs,
coming around.
baby.
I ain't
Let's
coming
go.
around. I'm saying the opportunity is there because of the division we play in. If we were in the NFC North, I'd be like, no shot.
Right.
Like Bears fans get Ben Johnson. If I was a Bears fan, I'd still be like, no shot. But Colts, Titans, Texans, like we saw Texans fucking limp into the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So if everything comes together, if they hire the right staff, if they draft the right players, if the scheme, God, we need BTJ to get 50 touches a game.
50. I love that.
If he loves him that much and puts him in every play, like we could do it. But I'm not expecting it.
You say
I would
50?
Yes.
They start with 15 would be impressive.
I would like to see some competent football week to week. I had to watch Mac Jones all season, man. How am I gonna go from Mac Jones to we're winning the division, baby, playoffs? I don't even know what Trevor looked like anymore, man. I had to watch Mac Jones.
Who do you think Lamar is? He's in our live chat.
Oh, he's been around.
I don't know.
He has
Yeah,
been, but I'm wondering who it is.
He is a dedicated troll. I respect the hell out of Lamar.
Do you think the Ravens going to beat the Chiefs?
He must love us though, because he's always in our shit. I haven't done a video in a year, and he's up in here talking.
Yeah, our last video was over a year ago. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
But I said, well, I didn't say this, but it was in my head. I'm done. I have no passion anymore. As you could see, the walls in this room that used to be the podcast studio, they're bare. But Balky's gone, so we're back, and we'll see how long this takes us. We have hope up until week 1 in September. That's the next time you could see us disappear. But for now, we're back and indefinitely, and we plan on doing some videos about the Jaguars up through hopefully our GM search, defensive coordinator search, draft, rookie minicamp, training camp, and then we'll leave if we start 0. We'll give it. We got to be at least 2-2 in the first 4 games, and we'll keep chugging along.
That's what I thought we were going to be this year. I was like, it's 2-2, the worst.
Same.
0-4.
Yeah.
But watching Trevor greet the new head coach with a sling, I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, right? Why is he still in a sling?
We got so long to go.
Yeah, when did he get that surgery?
I think that sling is still from the hit that
No way.
yeah.
Aziz
Yeah.
Al-Shaair.
He hurt his shoulder in that? I thought he got a concussion.
Or maybe he hurt his shoulder in the Eagles game and then it was exasperated.
By the hit?
It was the Eagles game.
Yeah, I know he was like dealing with an injury for a while, but I didn't think it came from the hit. But what do I know?
Michael says after the Texans game.
Jack, speaking of firings, do you have anyone on the Steelers that you'd like to fire?
Yeah. It's not even like relevant or like not even worth my time to entertain it because no, it won't happen. I wouldn't mind to move on to a different defensive coordinator.
Who's he?
Terrell Austin.
Oh yeah.
You got the who button?
No.
Why do I want him gone?
Is it because TJ Watt had like zeros on the stat line for the last 3 weeks of the season?
I mean, partially he needs to do better. They showed flashes of moving him around and doing better, showing effort to scheme him open because he gets double teamed so much, and that just stopped in the second half of the season. But not even just that, like the defense shouldn't fall apart the way it did at the end of the season, and it's underperformed the past couple of years with all the talent and we have on every level. So. But at the end of the day, they keep things so under wraps. I don't know how much involvement Tomlin is in the defense, and Terrell Austin is just his puppet. So,
do you hope, or do you think that Russell will end up in Vegas? I thought Carroll and Russell didn't like each other.
Right. That's everyone just as soon as Carroll got the job, there were so many rumors that just surfaced like, oh, Russell Wilson could be a candidate to go back to Vegas. But like people are just forgetting and like 2021, they had like a fault. Like that's why Russ they wanted to part ways. Like I don't know, maybe they want to make amends and rekindle old times. And yeah, but I don't know. It'll come down to money. Tom Brady's gonna have a bigger influence than we think over what's happening there. He didn't know, but I wouldn't mind moving on from Russell Wilson.
How old is Pete Carroll?
He's 73, which is nuts.
Taking that job with those other teams in the division and head coaches that's kind of wild.
I thought about those head coaches, all 4 of them in that division now. Like, I don't know if like in any point in NFL history, I mean, currently, especially not now, but like, think of those 4 coaches. 15 years ago, they were all head coaches of NFL teams coaching for different franchises each.
I also saw today that Andy Reid is the most winning head coach for Eagles and the Chiefs. That's wild. Also you know what I will say? Just to show you guys I don't just throw this around willy-nilly. I will not be predicting the Raiders to make the playoffs with their first head coach.
Oh.
See?
Congrats.
I don't just say that about everyone.
What is the Raiders plan? Like they're fucked.
That's such a mess. Yeah, I don't. Is Blackie in here?
He actually did comment.
He was at one point. I don't know if he's here anymore.
Like I'm used to saying we're the worst franchise in the NFL. Historically, we are, but right now, we're not. We're not the worst.
Yeah, I don't even like any of these quarterbacks at the top of the draft, but I feel you. I'll just take one and hope. And I mean, maybe you can get Tom Brady influence, and he's not a coach, obviously, but something that could help him. Um, but like, there's rumors of Max Crosby like potentially wanting out. Like, he wants to be a Raider, I think, but just like he's probably just tired of losing, and like he's too good. Like, you could get a lot of value out of him. Like, I wouldn't be the worst move to trade him and get a bunch of assets. Um, yeah, it's a mess. Build around Brock Bowers. That's really your only shining spot I can think of.
Our ratings are plummeting since we moved on from the Jags talk.
Our ratings.
So, any thoughts on anything that we didn't cover about the Jags? They're back. Oh, where were you when you saw that Balky was fired?
The social media team's back, that's for sure.
Yeah, they put out so much content. Like when was it? When they changed the Abby to Shad Khan.
Yeah.
It's like because they literally haven't had anything positive to meme about in ages. So like something good happened that the fans approved of, and they posted like 100 times that day, content after content. But where were you?
I was home, and the first thing I saw about it was actually in my meme team group chat. They broke the news to me first. In all caps, Balky fired, all hands on deck. And then they dropped like 15 memes in the group chat.
Great. And let's tell the people these are like not Jags fans,
No,
which makes it
not at
all. All fired, all hands on deck. What? Fire up the memes.
And then they just kept coming in. I'm exposing my content machine.
Yeah, you've have turned a corner. You used to steal memes, and now you used to steal them from other creators. Now you just outsource them to other creators.
I am a what do they call those? What do they call those accounts on Twitter that just take other statuses and post them for themselves?
Oh,
Aggregator?
Yes.
yeah.
Like I'm a Jaguars news aggregator on Facebook. And I sprinkle in a little content of my own. So it's a little mix of both.
Jack, where were you?
I was at work sitting at my desk. Like probably a lot of people at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Crazy. You even know the time? Wow, you're invested.
I think it was. Maybe it was a Wednesday.
It was probably around.
It was that really cold day, right?
Oh, was it the day? Oh, so that's what's funny about it is that it snows in Florida. Like, the snows in Florida, we fire Balky. Just a lot of.
That's all it took.
Yeah, that's all. If you told me like, yeah, we'll fire Balky when it snows, it's like, and I'd be like, fuck.
We're screwed till 2039.
Yeah, and it like just not just snows, but just pour blankets the panhandle of Florida. And a little sprinkle in North Jacksonville. But that's all it took. Balky was fired. And
it was a sprinkle here? I didn't know.
There were some reports. We got some pictures. People made like little mini snowmen.
That's crazy. It's almost already been a week. That should feel like yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies. You don't have Balky in your life.
Maybe he's just got that hold on me still.
January is always like 40 days. It's crazy. It's always
January,
you always get those tweets or memes that's like it ain't it like January 42nd or something?
And then the rest of the year just flies by.
Yep.
Yeah.
Flies by.
But January 22nd will always be a holiday in my book if this works. Because if it doesn't, then I spent all my years yapping about a GM that didn't matter. Because Shad Khan, I think he has like 5 winning seasons out of his 12.
5? I didn't know he had 5.
3? 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3.
3 out of
2017,
12
22,
is
and 23.
3 out
3
of
out of
12 is
12.
insane.
So
None of them are double digit.
no. So the odds, we didn't win 10 games that 2017 year.
Yeah, I thought you guys went 10-6 there.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
we had 10 there.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, and Andy
Sorry.
wants that this year.
Trent
You're the 3 seed,
Baalke.
I think.
Trent Baalke
Haven't-
never won double digit games.
Haven't had one season of double. Only have had one season of double digits in the last like 20 years, but he wants it this year.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
No, I don't want to. Well, I do want it, obviously, but I expect it.
Yeah, I think you should switch that around. You should want it, but not expect it. You also, you want it. I don't know. You shouldn't
want
expect
it so bad.
Well, we play a third place schedule, correct?
Yeah, but sadly the Bengals suck, so they're also in that.
Sorry.
Yeah, we will lose to the Bengals.
Too bad the Steelers didn't have third seed. We could have gone to Pittsburgh again.
True. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to the schedule dropping.
Why?
Not till I see who these
Free
guys
agents are?
hire and who they draft.
Let's get this win-loss. Can we play the win-loss game?
No, because you don't know the order.
Why?
You don't know the
In
order.
January.
You need to know the order. You
Yeah.
see the opponent.
I need to
Let me
know
look at
when and
logos.
where.
You know home or away.
Whoa.
I do, because whoa.
No.
We have an intruder.
He has
Pick
to
'em.
leave,
live?
though. It's messing up the grid.
Are you guys live right now?
Yeah.
All right, just wanted to say hi. Love you guys. Enjoy the pod.
Love you too.
What
Not a
pod?
pod.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Are you live? Live?
It's not a pod.
All right.
Get informed.
I need to get informed. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Sorry about the grid.
Oops.
Who made him red?
I know, right? It's been ruining my life. Just kidding.
Hmm.
If you guys want to be in our Discord, like Angelo there, and maybe sneak into our live streams that we do, it's patreon.com/DunandDrew, and we created a Jaguars chat this week. So the Jags are back is basically what I'm trying to say.
Oh, hold up, boy. Looking at our opponents, we might,
Okay.
we might be cooked here. We might be cooked here. But
Come
Let me
on.
read them. Let's play the win-loss game.
Speak on it.
no, I'm not playing the win-loss yet.
Why?
Don't even know my team. I don't even know my team.
Well,
Is it this
can we let
team?
Andy play? He's expecting to have like 13 wins. You ready?
Not 13. 10 or 11.
And Andy, you ready?
Yeah.
At Arizona.
Win.
I'll be there.
At Cincinnati.
I'll be there.
Loss, I fear.
At Denver.
I'll be there.
You're traveling every game.
Loss, I fear.
At Houston.
Win, I don't fear.
At Indy.
Win.
Weird order. Versus Houston.
Is anyone keeping track?
I am.
Win.
Wait, let me catch up. Did I say versus Houston?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
You said win.
We swept them.
Versus Indy.
Win. Swept them.
So right now that's 4 wins, 5 wins, 5 and 2. Versus Tennessee.
Win. We're sweeping the AFC South.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, that'll help you make the playoffs.
Thanks.
Versus Kansas City.
Win.
Dude.
Hold the fuck up. We got the Chiefs.
Damn, I didn't know we played them. That sucks. We play the AFC
We
West.
play him here though. Thank God.
Oh,
They gotta come in the bank.
Loss, I fear.
Third down.
right. Versus Chargers.
He completes it to Travis Kelce for a first.
Versus Chargers.
Is it in LA?
Verse,
San
not at.
Diego.
Verse.
Win. They can't win here.
Verse Rams.
Win. Too far to travel. And it's a Liam Cohen revenge game.
Versus Seattle.
I don't see that. Damn, a lot of home games for. That's a.
Also, one of these home games is gonna be in London.
This one's gonna be in London, so win.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Jags are great in London. Versus the Jets.
Win.
Versus the Panthers.
Win. The fuck.
At Vegas.
Win. What the fuck? You guys are, we're not going to be in playoffs. This schedule's patty cake.
At San Francisco.
Oof, loss.
At Tennessee.
Win.
All right, 13-4.
Woo! Duval. Let's go. So?
You do this every year.
But I don't have a new GM every year. This time it means something more.
We predicted like 11-12 last time, and we started 0-4. Then we had 4 wins, man. You better sit your ass down and watch the draft.
Watch the draft.
You better sit your ass down at training camp.
You gonna go to training camp?
No. Well, yes, maybe. Eric, are you going to meet the Liam Cohen event Thursday?
It's not really a meet. They said it's at the bank, right? Is it in the field, or are they watching from the stands?
No idea. But it's 40% off concessions.
Oh, yay.
You can get a McUltra for $12 now.
Have they always done this, or is this just something they're trying to integrate fans in?
I highly doubt they had come meet Doug Marrone.
I wonder if Liam is like, yo, let's do a meet and greet with the fans. I want to know how these decisions are made. I don't want to be in the building though.
Is he trying to make up for his Duval? Like, hey, I got to see these people face to face. I got to do it right.
Did you see how they were promoting it? They said Liam Cohen's first Duval.
Yeah, I did. That was weird. I didn't understand that because he's done other Duvals. He's done like 4 now.
Yeah.
The Liam Cohen Duval, that's just gaining way too much traction online. Like people legitimately think he's gonna be a bad coach because of his Duval.
I know. Okay, so
yeah.
Obviously I've been through this new coaching thing a lot, so I'm skeptical. But I'm trying to I think the fact that if he is the offensive mind that he is, and he is, I think that would if he's not a good head coach, I think that itself could make up for. I don't think he's going to be as bad as Gus Bradley was terrible. And he was like a rah-rah players coach guy. And it kind of seems like Liam Cohen might be kind of like a players coach guy. Young. But Gus Bradley was just not good. And he didn't come with a great offense. Liam Cohen's come with a great offense. So I think if he's not a great head coach, I think we could be good offensively. But I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know if I'd classify him as a player's coach yet. That term is always a touchy, a subjective term. Is it just if they're a likable guy, are they a player's coach? Then yeah, he seems like a likable guy.
I feel like everyone has to be a player's coach these days with how
Yes, exactly. Because the only old traditional hard ass coach left is Sean Payton. Belichick's gone and that era and generation, because players now need to be coddled. They can't be coached tough as the NFL once was. So yeah, I think in theory every coach is going to be a player's coach. I would say his strong suit is more so designing an offense or just running an offense rather than a player's coach. Not to say he's not a likable guy. It seems like he is though.
Yeah, and it will be great to see an offensive scheme that puts us in the end zone because We've been missing out on that. If he can do that, I'm all the way back. I'm just a little back. But
Yeah,
you want me all the way back? Get in the end zone.
I mean, every time I hear what he like did in Tampa, I'm impressed. Like they were like bottom 3 in rushing, and then they were like top 5 this past year. How did Canellis get a head coaching job with being like bottom 5 in rushing in 2020?
I mean, what he did to Baker is what did it, and prior to that, what he did with Geno in Seattle the year before also did it. And I credit him to the resurgence of Baker, not
right.
Liam Cohen.
Okay.
But as I said, Cohen did. I mean, Baker hit a new level last year too in 2024, so you can credit Cohen with that. But yeah, you said it first. Like what Cohen did with that running game in Tampa, like rookie Bucky Irving was rushed for like 1,200 yards, I think. And yeah, as you said, they're a top 5 rushing team, which out of nowhere. Which I know Cohen's background is specifically in the passing game, but he surely had some effect on their rushing performance last year. And the Jaguars certainly need help. I think like just as much help as they need is you want to focus on Trevor. Like he needs a better run game to just I don't know support the pass game. So I think that's just important. And is ETN, they picked up his 5th year, right? So he should be back next year, right?
Oh, he'll be back. Yeah. There's no discussion
Okay.
about will ETN be back unless he gets traded or released. But why would you release him?
But they did pick up because you guys had to declare his 5th year after his 3rd season. So I assume they did pick up his 5th year option.
Would this be his 5th year?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no conversation of whether or not he will be back. So,
So
I
they
assume
did
we
then, yeah.
did. So, and I think I'm cool rolling with ETN and Tank Bigsby this season.
Yeah.
Like people are like saying that we should take a running back. Like they're very few, but saying that Boise State running back we should take in the top 5. There's so many other needs that we have that should not even cross anyone's mind. And then I also saw running back like in top 3 rounds. I'm like, no, please no. We need line. We need corners. And I was
looking at one sec. I was looking at the YouTube comments for a second, and I may have missed all what you said there. Did you say that running back from Boise State?
Jeanty or Janty, whatever his name is. Gianti.
Like, you should really know his name.
What's his name?
Ashton Genty.
Genty. There you go. Thank you. Why is Tommy laughing at my 13-4?
Because probably everyone is.
No.
I think he's laughing at the guy that said, "Who the fuck is this guy in the middle?"
I introduced Jack.
I mean, if they've watched us before, like I've been around for like, I don't know, what, almost 2.5 years now?
Rhett Samed said, no need OL or CB. I don't know what that. No RB. Need OL or CB. Yes.
Is it like no, comma, need
I don't
OL
know.
or CB?
Probably.
Yeah. You know, it's the internet, boy. They don't use commas.
We also need interior. So if we could get Mason Graham, if we could draft him and Will Johnson and what's the Campbell's guy's name?
You can't.
I think it's
We
Will
get all
Campbell.
3 of those.
You cannot do that.
Hey, just do something. Make Jacksonville great again.
Speaking of which, I
Magic.
wanted to talk about these Trump executive orders. Just kidding.
Go down the list, boy.
All right. What else? Anything else? We done?
We are awaiting offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator,
Yes.
and a GM.
And we've interviewed quite a few defensive coordinators. Let me rattle some off, and Jack can tell us what he knows about them. Jack is our non-ball knower ball knower.
Are you moaning in the mic?
Oh, don't act like this isn't where we came from. This is where we came from. This is what we do. Okay, Anthony Camp. What? Camp.
Who?
Anthony Campanile. I was sold is a Packers position
Yeah.
coach. I saw a video on him about him, and it sold me. I wish I was able to. Do you know who this is, Jack?
He's currently serving as the linebackers coach and defensive run game coordinator for the Packers.
Packers, yeah. Good one.
Their defense, I mean, this year, he's only been there for 1 year, and their defense this year has improved from the past couple seasons. I know Packers fans have been clamoring for their DC to be fired, and he did. And I think the defense improved. I don't know. That could be a decent hire. He was before that he was a linebackers coach for the Dolphins, and then was a college assistant.
But he's white.
Yeah. Andy wants a black defensive coordinator.
That's a lot of white at the head of the
I
team
want a
there.
black quarterback, but I have to wait.
Yeah,
You got
you have to wait
Trevor.
for Trevor's contract to expire for that one.
We could have had Lamar.
Oh God, yeah, but he
Every
would be
single
out.
team could have had Lamar, who's taken last in the draft in the first
He'd
round.
be out of the league by now if we drafted him. Aubrey Pleasant,
That boy would be waste management.
Rams defensive pass game coordinator and assistant head coach.
That could be a good hire. Their defense, man, they don't have the names, but they perform. I mean, is it the pass? That's such a. For the Raiders, which I mean, he's been there DC the past 3 years, and their defense, like, granted they're void of talent, but like not overly impressive. I mean, he must be a player's coach, and guys must love him, and he's pretty well respected. That wouldn't be a bad hire, I suppose, if he's getting head coach interviews.
We're talking about Patrick Graham.
Correct.
I fear that when I switched the screen here, it took our audio out. But who cares? This is our first live stream back, so that is fine. Let me go to the next one. Next, Durante Jones. I think this guy does the same thing. He's also a defensive pass game coordinator for the Vikings and DB coach.
Okay.
So that is who we've interviewed so far. And I think we're going to fill out our coaching staff before we hire a GM. But have heard a few GM names.
That feels pretty backwards, but interesting.
Hey, I'm just a messenger. And I'm actually on board with coach first, GM second. Most of the NFL does GM first, coach second, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because most of the NFL does it, so maybe that's how it works, and maybe it's best that way. But like, if I'm a coach, I know how I want to play, and I know the type of players that I want. So I'm going to find a GM that can find those kind of players. If I'm a GM, if you hire the GM first, he knows what players he likes. Now you just have to find a head coach. Now I think you just hire whatever head coach sounds best, and you hope that your players fit what the head coach wants to do. I don't know. I like the way that we're doing it this way. Because apparently
all I'm happy about is the potential of Liam Cohen and whoever we hire as GM being together as one.
I know. Thank God. Thank God
Which is-
Balky isn't there anymore. Because there was no, like, there's just, it was either one guy's fault or the other's. Now it's going to be both of their faults.
Because you know how we drafted Mason Smith in the second round last year. He's put on scratch list every game. They finally start him towards the end of the season when the season's damn near over, and he's pretty fucking decent player. And everybody's wondering first half of the season why we aren't playing our second round draft pick, and that's definitely because Doug and Balky probably were butting heads there. Balky probably wanted him. Doug probably didn't, so he's like, I'm not playing him.
That's what
And
I
then
hear.
they finally did.
Well, that's
So
what the
it's-
perception is. And lately, with everything that happened in all the rumors that were circulated when Balky stayed, what a roller coaster that was. Balky stayed, interviewed Cohen. Cohen decides he was going to stay in Tampa. All these rumors were circulating, and everyone heard this as it was happening. Balky fired. Oh, we're talking to Cohen again. Cohen's now hired as the head coach. It was quite the roller coaster.
Yeah, a long way to go. I'll just say that. Can't think about 10 wins right now.
You
Like
think
the
about
Bucks-
13 though.
Yes,
But
we
Balky's
can.
gone.
I didn't know I was aiming so high, but that's awesome to hear that we could hit 13.
Yeah, congrats on your 13-win season. You're pretty much there already.
I don't know how it keeps getting bigger every year. Pause me.
Yeah, I that was so pause.
Before we finish,
Pause. Fuck.
Neil Young says, "Hi, just wanted to stop in quick and see if Jack would address the result of Pitt's bowl game."
No. Is this the Toledo fan?
Yeah.
Oh man. You can finish reading the comment. Is there more?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank
Oh.
you for your time and your consideration.
um no, I'm not gonna. I mean, like, one, I don't care about bowl games, especially not the, like, it was the game above Sports Bowl. That was the bowl game. And Pitt's bad. That's really all I will say, I guess.
Remember when you were 7-0?
Yep. The Steelers were also 10-3.
However, your first loss was to a team that went to the college football playoff. So they were them.
What about the next 5? And we went 7-6.
I can't speak about those.
One of them was a MAC team in said game above Sports Bowl.
And then y'all killed fucking was it Syracuse? We had like 10 pick sixes
yeah.
in the game.
Right.
Y'all
Kyle
was
McCord, he's ours.
y'all was up for a little.
Yeah. Shame.
It is, but we'll get to college at another time.
That's crazy. We were asked about the Pitt Toledo bowl game in this.
All right. Shout out Bubba Brooks. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We're back. So you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Any last sign-off words, guys, from you?
You're back, not me.
Wow.
I'm not back yet. Are you getting season tickets?
I said today that I would get season tickets if something happened.
What does that mean? What do you mean something
What?
happened?
You said that today? Something happened last week.
I was like, man, if that happens, I'm gonna get season tickets.
Dude, what?
If we bring back probably the throwback jerseys.
Oh. Can they do that?
Yeah,
Like, do you mean as primaries or just
as
throughout the
primaries.
season?
God no, if they're just like the occasionals, no thanks.
Yeah, that would be the last thing the Jags need to do to get the fan base back all in. That might
They
just do
should.
it, honestly. Trevor only wears throwback gear that I've noticed.
Yep,
True.
it's the best. There's no better, in my opinion, no better jersey combination than our throwbacks in the league. It's sad that we wear these bare ass uniforms. It's very embarrassing, incredibly embarrassing. But,
I mean, the most embarrassing. Like, you guys can't just be rolling out with the white and black. Like, that's so boring. The Jags
who
have
is
such
that?
good
Like,
colors.
that's not even us. That's the Raiders, white and black. Well, they're silver and
Yeah,
black, but
that's just like I feel like we see that way too often that the Jags are wearing a white jersey, black pants.
there's no identity
Yeah.
there. None at
Yeah,
all. The only
that's just
teal in
dumb.
that jersey is like on the Jaguars' tongue on the logo, which
Barely.
is really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
When they wear the
that-
white, I hate when they wear the white and black. That
I
shit's so
can't
fucking ugly.
believe the last three uniform combinations that we've had. Like any sense, that makes me just think that billionaires, they just have no, but they've got to be outsourcing these uniform designs. But who is coming
Right.
up with these uniforms when you see like the originals and you create these abominations? I don't know, you guys. Eric wasn't a huge fan back in this time, but between like 09 and 2012 were just the more boring than we have currently, and the black and white was even more boring than what we have currently. And then the uniforms with the two-tone helmet, the gold helmet, just not aesthetically pleasing at all. Just nothing. It was so clunky and just so unsightful. Thank God we didn't make the Super Bowl that year, because
Thank God. That would have
that
been terrible.
jersey on a
Winning the
grand-
conference. Oh,
that jersey on a grand stage like that would not have been pretty. And then these just so boring. Like, come on, give us the throwbacks full time. You can change the Jaguar head to the current head, and everything would be great. I think that is the last missing piece. We have Tony Baselli, which Shad Khan said is going to be part of the front office. We have a new head
Did he?
coach. He did. Balky is gone. And throwback jerseys, full time, nothing is going to stop us from 13 wins. And you get to 13 wins, you're 2 seed, and you still have to go to Kansas City at the end of the day for the AFC Championship game. But at least you stand a chance because you look good. And Taylor's going to be there, and she's all about fashion. And maybe
she might root for the Jags.
I was to say, maybe there's a slight chance that she looks at Evan Ingram down there in that jersey and she thinks, he might have it. Travis Kelce might be my next album because I'm moving on. Because Evan Ingram,
Why
he looks
Evan
good.
Ingram? Oh, because she's into tight ends. Evan Ingram, that way.
Yeah. I mean, if Trevor was available, obviously she'd go toward him.
Evan Ingram is.
He could be a cap casualty, but I don't think he should. Anyway, all right. See you guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Go Jags. Duval.